Good afternoon, CMS Tigers. I'm Bella.
And I'm Ava.
Now for the sports events.
Middle school girls basketball game at Chisholm. Lady Tigers play at Caddo Mills. Middle school boys play their first game. Last football game was Friday. Now for the weather. Monday today it will be 75 degrees, generally sunny despite a few afternoon clouds. High near 75 Fahrenheit, winds light and variable.
Tonight will be 50 degrees, clear skies, low near 50 Fahrenheit, winds light and variable.
Tuesday will be 76 degrees, mostly sunny skies, high 76 Fahrenheit, winds SE at 5 to 10 miles per hour.
Tuesday night will be 56 degrees, mainly clear skies, low 56 Fahrenheit, winds S at 5 to 10 miles per hour.
Wednesday will be 74 degrees, sunshine along with some cloudy intervals. Slight chance of rain shower, high 74 Fahrenheit, winds NW at 10 to 15 miles per hour.
Wednesday night will be 45 degrees, a mostly clear sky, low near 45 Fahrenheit, winds N at 5 to 10 miles per hour.
Thursday night will be sunny. Thursday day will be 70 degrees, sunny skies, high around 70 degrees, winds E at 5 to 10 miles per hour.
Thursday night will have 45 degrees, clear skies with a few passing clouds, low around 45 Fahrenheit, winds light and variable.
Friday will be 73 degrees, partly cloudy skies, high 73, winds SSE at 5 to 10 miles per hour.
Friday night will be 53 degrees, clear skies, low 53 Fahrenheit, winds SSE at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Oh, stop recording.
When you see photographs like these, what holiday do you think about? And what holiday comes to mind when you see these? Some holidays are easy to identify through pictures. Other times, it's trickier. On November 11th each year, we celebrate people like this, and this, and this. What do you think these people have in common? And why do we celebrate them each year on November 11th? In the United States, November 11th is Veterans Day. A veteran is any person who has served in a part of the military, like the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, and Coast Guard. But of all the days in the year, why was November 11th chosen? Let's dive in and learn the history of the holiday. To understand where Veterans Day came from, we have to go back in time to April 1917. The United States had just joined World War I. This wasn't the first time the U.S. had fought in a war, but it was the first time American soldiers had been sent to fight across the Atlantic Ocean in Europe. Before the U.S. joined the war, around 125,000 people were serving in its army. Sounds like a lot, but by the time fighting stopped, over a year later, nearly 4 million people had served in the army, with another 800,000 serving in other military branches. That means almost 5 million Americans went from living normal, everyday lives to training to be soldiers, to fighting in one of the biggest wars the world had ever seen, all in less than 2 years. How do you think people felt when they left home to serve in World War I? Some who volunteered to fight may have felt excited, curious, or proud. Others may have felt nervous and scared to leave their families and risk their lives. And some felt upset because they didn't believe in war or didn't want to hurt others. In fact, 7 out of every 10 soldiers who served in the U.S. Army in World War I did not volunteer. They were required by the government to join the military. But on November 11, 1918, the fighting stopped. Why did it stop? The last countries that were still fighting in the war signed an armistice. An armistice is an agreement between 2 or more countries or groups to stop fighting a war. People celebrated the signing of the armistice in America and across the world because it meant a return to peacetime, and many agreed the event should be honored with its own holiday. Exactly 1 year later, in 1919, President Woodrow Wilson took the first steps toward doing just that. He announced that November 11th would be celebrated unofficially as Armistice Day. People in many states celebrated with parades as well as moments of silence. But it wasn't until 1938 that Congress and President Franklin D. Roosevelt made Armistice Day an official federal holiday. A member of Congress at the time called Armistice Day a national peace holiday, saying that it would not be devoted to the glories achieved in war, but rather to blessings which are associated with peacetime. What was Armistice Day created to celebrate? Armistice Day was created to celebrate peace after World War I. However, over the course of the next 2 decades, Americans would fight in more wars, including World War II and the Korean War. Many began to wish that the November 11th holiday would recognize the service and stories of veterans of all wars. So, in 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower officially changed the name of Armistice Day to Veterans Day to celebrate all veterans, not just those who served in World War I. Today, Veterans Day is a day off of school or work when we make sure veterans' experiences are never forgotten. Some ways we do that are by holding parades and ceremonies, observing moments of silence, and visiting memorials. One iconic memorial is the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Arlington National Cemetery. The tomb was first established in 1921 as the final resting place of the unknown soldier, an American who died in World War I but could never be identified. Today, the tomb serves as a symbol and a reminder of all those, named and unnamed, who gave their lives in military service. How do you think veterans may feel when they visit the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier? Why? Veterans probably feel a range of emotions: sad, proud, angry, thankful, and many others. Remember, behind the training, the uniform, and all their experiences, they're people. And that's what Veterans Day is all about: the people who serve to protect peace around the world, their lives, their service, and their stories. Now that you've learned the story of Veterans Day, it's time to show what you know. One of the simplest yet most important ways to honor veterans is to learn and share their stories. If you wanted to learn more about a veteran's story, what are some questions you might ask? You might ask questions about what their life was like before joining the military, how their life has been different after serving, or simply if there's anything they wanted to tell you about their service. If you don't know any veterans, that's okay. The Library of Congress created the Veterans History Project, where you can read, listen to, and watch thousands of first-hand stories from veterans all the way back through World War I. Then, after you've heard a veteran's story, share it with your family, or friends, or classmates, because sharing is the best thing we can do to keep veterans' stories alive. Thank you for learning with us today, and for taking another step toward putting together the pieces of the past.
Who am I here with?
Coach Vaught.
And do you know anything about Veterans Day?
I know that is a time for us to honor the people that have served our country.
Do you have anybody that served in the military?
I have several,
What branch did they serve in?
Army and the Marines.
Okay, what family members?
Both of my grandparents, my grandfather on both sides, and my grandmother on both sides.
Okay, thank you for that
Thank
interview.
you. Here with?
Miss Richardson,
And how long did you serve?
15 years,
What branch did you serve in?
United States Coast Guard.
What made you want to join the military?
I wanted to serve our country and give back to the others that went before us.
What did you do while serving in the military?
I started out as a finance officer, and then I went to officer school, and I became an engineering officer.
Very good promotion.
Who am I here with?
Coach Shaw.
And what do you know about Veterans Day?
I know it's a day in remembrance to the veterans in the military.
Do you know anybody that served in the military?
My uncle, my cousin. I got some friends in the military that are in the military right now.
Do you know what branch your family members served in?
My uncle served in the Marines. My friends are in the Army.
That's nice. That's nice.
Nice. Nice.
Thank you for listening to the CMS News Crew.
Go Tigers!